the people that you want to help, right? Focus on the people that you want to work with. Focus on the people that you want to have pay you money for your services, right? That's the game. What's up, my friend? How's it going?
Hi, Calvin. Your story was so perfect. I mean, I guess in fact, I've been working with a group of men, and it's all about it's not all about. One of the things is like say yes to life, and
Totally.
and I
It's
also
amazing how, like, when you think of it, and when you see it that way, that life is always looking out for you. Life is always wants the best for you. It's always inviting you to expand and step up and have more joy, have more fun, have more excitement, have more passion in your life. Always, right? It's just us that's blocking it.
right, and even with me coming on to this Q&A, when I looked at it, I was like, I did it once before, and I was like, it was such a yes, and then I was like, yeah, that's going to take time. I could be doing this, I could be doing that, and I was like, no, this is a yes. So I got on here. I didn't have a question. In fact, I just got off of talking to like this beautiful man who's actually happens to be a indigenous shaman for an hour, and it was the same thing. Like, you could ask this guy a question. I was like, when I started contemplating that, like, there's no question. My whole life is the question. Let's just go meet the guy and be in his energy. And so that's why I'm here. I just want to be honest. I realized that there's sometimes I just need to be there with that and be saying
I
yes.
respect that. Yeah. You know what? So I've started showing up for more trainings and more events myself, and make myself, I'm the same way. I used to be like, oh, I don't know. I don't have a good question. Is it a good question? What's the best question? What's the right question? And like, what I've come to realize is like, just say something. Like, get, if you're have that opportunity, get the other person talking, right? Because you'll learn something from that. Like you say something to me, it'll trigger something, and I'll start talking, and that will, be something that ends up being useful to you or to someone else on who's on this call, right? um, the other thing is that you get seen. So like this morning, I showed up at a training for a community that I'm a part of called SaaS Academy for SaaS company founders. And I showed up there with a question. I was like, do I have a question? Is this question still relevant? I'm not really sure. I'm like, all right, screw it. I'm just going to go in and ask the question. And the guy gave me a brilliant answer, but also there are two people on that call who are like, hey, we're targeting the same audience. We should do some affiliate partnership deals, right? Just for showing up, just for being in front of that audience. So there's so many ways that can benefit you.
So, I mean, all that is beautiful. And so the question that I created, probably my bigger contemplation question was for you. Let's see, I don't know how exactly I put it, but the idea is do you see a point for you when the struggle, you began to honor the struggle and work through it with perseverance, and then, the flow and I don't know if you get that, but it's part of my sort of life contemplation right now.
What's your struggle, David?
What's my struggle?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me make it specific around Simplero and business and whatever. Is I started an email list 2008, I guess, and built a small list and started to build a heart-based business. And short version, one view look of it is crashed and burned, didn't make money, got a teaching certificate, went back to school to keep the thing on the back burner. So now I'm at this point where I've resigned from all that. I'm ready to move on. I've got the Simplero thing, and I just need to move my list over and make a page and, do the basic stuff. So my struggle has really been, I mean, I'm putting it, even putting it into words, there's so much more, but I don't want to, take up the whole call. But the struggle, underlying struggle, okay, is this place in me that has, that ancient place of self-loathing where you are somehow embarrassed, spiritual embarrassment. How could I bear myself like that, So that's what's underneath it. Parts of that have already been dissolved, but there's still the little, little voice there that, sometimes brings me down. And I feel like there's a lot of support. And
So are you saying you sit down to like write an email or put something out there, and then this voice comes and it says, like you're no good, or you're no, um, you should be embarrassed.
I actually haven't got to that point of sitting down with it yet. Like, here's where I was at before. I shared a lot of email messages from the animals, speaking for the voice of the Divine Mother or the Father or the child. This was sort of my gig, but I never turned it into like, okay, but what is it that I offer that's going to make me, bring me an income, because I have to still live in the world and not just be this abstract being that,
Yeah,
says animal messages.
Yes.
So I mean, at this point in my transition, I'm coming out of a real rough end to my teaching career. Let's just leave it at that. Which was great, much grace in the school closures for me. I mean, just to be able to be relieved of that situation. But I mean, maybe there is a voice, but I'm not identified.
So here's what comes to me when you're talking about this is so your question, what you wrote was like, when my struggle turned into a flow of perseverance and a moment of clarity, and get with that and what you're saying. So, all right, here's where I'm coming at. Focus on the people that you want to help, right? Focus on the people that you want to work with. Focus on the people that you want to have pay you money for your services, right? That's the game. When we're in business, when we want to make a living, we got to find some people that we can do something for that's valuable to them so that they want to give us money, right? So who are those people that you would be willing to help and only get paid after they get the results? Who are those people that you know that you can deliver results for, that you know that you can deliver value for, that has money to pay you? You got to be super clear on that. And then what is their pain? What is it? Where is it they're at right now, right? It's very easy to come at this with all of our knowledge and so that spiritual understanding and the bigger picture and all that stuff. That's awesome. However, we got to meet people where they're at. We got to meet people where they're at. I'll tell you also, I'm doing a writing workshop right now. Like, I'm a constant learner. So I'm part of this writing workshop called Write the Ship. The whole idea is write in public and write in, so that you get immediate feedback, right? People, Nicholas Cole is the guy who's teaching this class. He's talking about how people tend to write on their blog, and then they can sit there and like write in secret. Essentially, you put it on your blog, nobody freaking sees it, right? Versus you put it out on Twitter or Quora or LinkedIn or Facebook or some social medium where now you have a chance of, you can be seen by others. And the whole game is you have to write stuff that other people are going to like and they're going to read, and the algorithm's going to feature it and it's going to spread. That's the only way. You have to write stuff that people care about. You can have all the greatest knowledge and insights and wisdom and intentions and all of that, but if you're not able to make it in a way that connects with other people, it means nothing. So my answer to you is, it's all about getting over yourself and focus 100% on the other people. And that's your breakthrough.
Cool. Yeah, that's relevant for sure. In terms of the people, it has been narrowed down at least by 50% for me, because I'm focusing on a men's retreat, which is going to happen in 2 weeks. And thank God I'm collaborating with a guy who already has 9,000 people on his list, because my list is like, hasn't heard from me for 3.5 years.
Right.
But I've got like boxes of my writing that hasn't even made it to a blog. So I
Right.
appreciate that.
I mean,
Really,
the reason I do this, right, is you ask me to sit down and like come up with content. I don't know what to say. But when I'm here with you, it's easy for me. I'm just meeting you, doing my best to hear you and see you and give you what I feel like I can offer in this moment. And that's it. Right. It's my way of ensuring that what I do has relevance.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I know that I connected with Simplero not because of the technology, although technology is one of my fascinations, having been a programmer analyst, but because of the energy, right? And so that's why I said yes today. That's why I'm here, and I appreciate your energy. And
Thank you, man. Thank you.
thank you.
Appreciate it. All right.